incredible step back through time. You know, I'm proud to say that I've got a Mako banner that hangs somewhere in that place. It's getting pretty full, but it's a very special place. Tom has been my friend and my partner on these races in many respects for 30 years, and I can't believe it's 30 years that we've been doing this race. And I think you need to realize that he does this. This isn't something you do for money. There's no money involved. This is for the love of the sport and for the love of you people, the racers, that have come out to support this race over and over and over again. I've seen so many familiar faces here. There's people here who've been coming to this race for so long they don't even ride it anymore, but they had to be here today because this is the Vet World Championship. So, without much further ado, I'm going to turn the mic over to Mr. Tom White.
It's a little scary up here. I'll try not to fall down. But, you know, Todd Peterson of Team Swollen on Let's Behalf came in and decorated this room on Thursday. And I want to say, I think you'll agree, is this like a proper motocross and tribute museum? And Hal, thank you very much for being a part of this thing from the very beginning, and I appreciate your friendship, the years that you spent at White Brothers, selling, hawking our goods, and your friendship. So I appreciate that very much, and obviously I appreciate the fact that you come here from Arizona to help us announce the event. So very cool. Well, you know, the event started 30 years ago, and the year was 1997, and Glen, Cameron, and I decided this particular venue would be a great place to honor the person or the persons that have made the largest contribution to American motocross. And so we started in '97, and you know the names. I mean, they're household names. Obviously, the first year it was, I'm thinking here, all of a sudden I had to go back and think it was Roger DeCoster. The second year, Rick Johnson. The third year, it was Edison Dye. We named the award after Edison Dye because he founded the sport. But then more and more people came. We invited more and more people to become Edison Dye Lifetime Achievement Award recipients. And I think that there's going to be, maybe there's some questions about why we're doing this one. So I'm going to change my apparel here real quickly, and then I'll try and explain to you what's going on.
Oh.
So who the hell is Chuck Beats Minert? So I'm hoping I can answer that question today a little bit for you. And you know, we decided, instead of a bunch of talking heads coming up here and saying, oh, Chuck was this or Chuck was that, I worked with Jody Weissel, a Motocross Action magazine editor, and somebody that's just as important part of this event as myself or anybody else. And we decided that we would do a video, and this video is done by Travis Fanther. So without any further ado, Mark's going to come over here. We're going to unplug this, plug into that, and with a little bit of luck, it's all on you, Mark. Let's show a video, and maybe at the end you'll understand who the hell Chuck Minert is. Chuck Minert. No pressure, Mark. Only thousands of man hours into this thing, Mark. No pressure.
Yes.
And speedway to road racing, raced on the beach in Daytona. The Grand Prix is probably the most famous Grand Prix, is the 1956 Catalina Grand Prix, where he emerged the winner. He was also a specialist in TT, very good at TT scrums. Many expert main events at Carroll Speedway, Ascot, Prado, Riverside. But then, once motocross mania hit America, he was one of the pioneer Americans who would compete in the Interim Series and other motocross events.
My good fortune to meet Chuck many years ago, and I always admired his positive attitude, his upbeat, his ability to make everybody around him feel good. Chuck Minert, I believe, has always been connected with BSAs, and he remains a BSA man, I think, in his heart.
How many kids get to go to the motorcycle races 3 times a week? It was weekdays at Speedway with Daddy feet on the peg, flying. It was so cool. Friday at Ascot, flying by the palm trees. Saturday, maybe going to the hill climbing.
Charles and myself both belong to Orange County Motorcycle Club, and we both rode BSAs. Charles was a specialized TT racer, and he raced for a span of 70 years.
Chuck was always a picture of real perfection on a TT course, the scrums course, which was basically not like the scrums today, because we didn't have much suspension then. And it was always elbows in the air and sliding the damn thing.
I doubt if there's another rider in the world that's ever had a motorcycle named after a race that he won. And in 1958, BSA introduced a new model called the BSA Gold Star Catalina Scrambler. And that was really in honor of Chuck Minert winning the 1956 Catalina GP. Great motorcycle. All he had done to the original Gold Star was a bigger tank, a bigger front brake, and BSA incorporated those modifications, and the BSA Catalina Scrambler became one of their best-selling dirt bikes. This beautiful trophy is the 1951 second place trophy for the Catalina GP. And actually, Chuck gave this trophy away because it meant nothing to him, because in his opinion, he was first loser. The 1956 first place trophy, he still has that in his house, and it's one of his proudest possessions. And you can see, trophies back in the day, very special.
When we started racing motocross at Saddleback, everybody at Saddleback knew who Fitz Minert was. He had been in on any Sunday. He had raced in Europe. He was a BSA factory rider. He had done like everything you could possibly do, including winning the Catalina Grand Prix, which was like the biggest race of all time. Did you see that guy riding? He's wearing jeans. He's got an open face helmet. He just did things that he wanted to do and the way he wanted to do it. That's the awesome thing about him.
Well, the first time I raced Chuck was in 1965, and he was on a BSA, and my dad was a BSA dealer, and he was one of my heroes because he was the BSA champion at the time. And I wanted to be like Chuck, and I wanted to race with him, and I got to race with him in 65 and 66, and then I changed over to Yamahas after that, but Chuck was my inspiration.
I'd always come up on Chuck, and before I learned that you don't pass Chuck on the outside, Chuck would turn it wide open, no matter what the circumstances were, to make sure that you didn't pass him where you wanted to pass him. He would let you pass other places, but if he didn't want you to pass, you couldn't pass Chuck.
When I first met Chuck Saddleback, he was racing the 500 Pro class on his BSA. He was 50 years old at the time. I was a cocky kid of 30. Chuck was not somebody that you mess with. Every time I would make a move, come down a hill, try to go around him on the outside, I would notice that his bike was moving imperceptibly towards me. Pretty soon, I was out in the gable weeds, and there wasn't any track left for me to pass him on. But he didn't cut you off in like a rude way. He just moved you off the track. I would get angry, and I would go over to him, and I'd confront him, and I'd get ready to say something to him, and he'd reach out and grab my hand and shake it and say, great fun, wasn't that great? I'm going, yeah, I guess. You're killing me, it's great fun, it was good.
this sounds like a diesel, right? And he says, oh yeah, it's a diesel. We put diesel fuel in a gasoline-powered van and made it about a half a mile down the road before the engine blew up.
Your adventures with Mom and Daddy doing races before we were born, in sidecar competitions, and they had a blast. And it was always tough to watch Daddy kiss the trophy girl.
My grandfather also taught me how to fly airplanes in addition to riding motorcycles. And instead of piling in the car for road trips when I was young, we piled in the airplane and went for cross-country flights.
Chuck and I went flying every Friday and racing every Saturday for 20 years. We'd go flying, and I loved to roll the airplane. We'd roll through the sky like this and have a wonderful time. Sometimes I'd do it for 100 rolls, continuously, never stopping. Just turn around and come back, turn around and come back. He never complained. I never heard a peep on the radio, never said a thing. And then finally, I'd go, that's it, I've had enough. And then you could hear just inaudibly on the radio in your headset, thank God, from the backseat.
Daddy was the best show and tell of the whole school year after we were as I grew up.
I first met Chuck, obviously, when I went to work for BSA in the service department, and I was also racing under the name of Clutch Cargo and racing local scrambles, where Chuck was the man to beat. He was the local hero, and so I got to race a lot with him. But I also met him personally and non-professionally on the outside, and what a great guy.
I was so lucky to grow up with my grandfather. Racing motorcycles with him, going to the track on the weekends is just the greatest times of my life. Grandpa, I'm so proud that you're receiving this award and this achievement for your career in motorcycling.
I'd just like to say that, he's a good friend, a good competitor, and I'm honored to be his friend.
Congratulations, Chuck, for your career in motorcycling.
Congratulations, Charles Minert. You are a superstar in a million ways.
Most of us old coots suffer from the illusion that we're still as fast as we were when we were young. And so we kind of make excuses for why we're not fast anymore. We get angry if people say, oh, I thought you were faster than that. I didn't realize you were so slow. But Chuck was never like that. He wanted to race. He wanted to ride. He wanted to go out and do something on his motorcycle. And here was a man who was once one of the greatest motorcycle racers in the United States. Then he's out riding around, with me. And, at that time, I don't think I beat Chuck. I didn't beat Chuck when Chuck was 50 and I was 30. I really think that I didn't start beating Chuck regularly until he was 60 and I was 40. And I was making excuses for why I wasn't beating him or why I was slow, but he never was. He was always having great fun, enjoying life, and just a wonderful person to be on the track with or in the pits with.
Successful motorcycle industry and bringing so many people into the sport through your passion with the 2014 Edison Motocross Lifetime Achievement Award. And for all of you racers out there, we hope that you too can enjoy 70 years of racing motorcycles. Chuck, first loser before at the Catalina GP, and also a friend. Great to have you up here. And then Chuck, remember, Chuck. Oh, wow. I hope this holds. This would be good. Hey, Chuck? Come over here. I know you want to catch up here. I mean, we'll get through this. Trust me. We'll get through this. We're going to have plenty of time to shoot the bull here. But I want to tell you that when I called Chuck and I said, Chuck, I want to let you know that we've decided, but Hellcat or myself, that you're the man that deserves and should get the Edison Lifetime Achievement Motocross Award. And you said to me, he says, Tom, I really wish you'd find somebody else. And I said, Chuck, this is not one of these things that you can turn down. So I hope you agree with me. It's not a good thing to turn down. Well, right off the bat here, I'd like to invite Amy Ferris. She's Miss Glen, Helen, and she has got trophies for Glen, the daughter, over there. And then Gloria, though I think, how many years, Chuck, has it been?
Married?
Married.
59.
59 years of faithful service. And Linda here, Linda is the other daughter, and Linda, I apologize profusely. Maybe we can break off one of the flowers and give it to her. I didn't know she was going to be here for sure. And then I'd also like to acknowledge, there's John. John, the grandson here. So Chuck, before we hand you this beautiful glass award here that is something hopefully that won't go in the trash can with that second place trophy that you won a few years ago, I'd like to congratulate you. I'd like to thank you. I think all of us share the same feeling that A, we'd like to live to 70, B, we would love to race motorcycles 70 years old, and we're just really proud that you have helped make this a better sport, and more so than any award recipient, the Edison Lifetime Achievement Award, you're the man that deserves it, and congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. And I won't go that to a guarantee.
Okay, now's the time where you can go into a long speech, and I know you don't have much of a speech at all, but I know there's just a few people you'd like to thank, and probably just most important, just your family. Let's just talk about the family.
Okay, my wife Gloria, 59 years. My oldest daughter Glen, my youngest daughter Linda, my grandson John. I think I just about does it.
Okay, and I want you've got Watt Alstown right next to you here. I know you haven't seen him for a number of years, but did you have any things you'd like to say to him about how he stole glory from you by winning the Catalina GP one time that could have been yours?
I don't quite remember it that way, but I haven't seen him walking along. As a matter of fact, I didn't recognize him at first. Now, it's the same old wall.
It certainly is, and he's a champion bicycle racer. Amy?
I heard that he's really a good bicycle rider.
Yes, he really is. Amy Ferris, if you would hand the award there, and Chuck, if you'll just kind of point it toward me so I can read it here. It's backwards, yeah, the other way around. Yeah, backwards. Okay, turn around.
Yeah, backwards to him.
I don't have my glasses on. I'm going to read this here. Oh no, it's the other way around. I'm sorry. Okay, hold it. It says here, first step, M. Edison I, Motocross Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Chuck Minert, a living legend in our activity of motorcycling as a racer and an ambassador. Few can accomplish the success that you have achieved on a motorcycle and in life, and thank you for the road map. We are so grateful. November 2014. Chuck Minert, it's my pleasure to present you the award. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation. What we're going to do is here's the group of people that are going to be the signers on this very unique poster that it's very valuable and expensive poster, I'll tell you that right now. Original art by Mark Borzak, and the signers are going to be Walt Axel, of course. It's going to be Chuck. We have Dave Eakins, Amy Hall, Dallas Baker, Randy would show up at my museum to do that. So very cool. Over here so they can get
It looks like organized confusion, but actually everybody knows what we're doing. And Tom, you know, we're 30 years of this show.
Go to www.glenhelen